Hi, Leo. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season and have a good new year as well. This is your January 2023 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic Cross spread as always, and I also pulled 4 agreements, wisdom, the oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where you folks should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have Mars, and Mars actually has been in Gemini for quite some time. It's currently retrograde, but a little bit past the midpoint of January, it's actually going to start direct motion again. And that's, for you guys, Gemini energy represents your 11th house of friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. Alright, we have Sagittarius, and of course at the time of recording this, we're technically still in Sagittarius season, but for you guys, Sagittarius represents your 5th house of romance, creativity, children, and 6. So 6th house energy for you guys is Capricorn, which of course for the first few weeks of January we'll be in Capricorn season. There's a Mercury retrograde that's going to be going on there in Capricorn as well. Pluto's been there for quite some time. Venus will be there for the first couple of days of January, but then it'll move into Aquarius, so that's probably not going to be as big of a factor. But yeah, 6th house energy can point to your work lives, your daily routines, your health. All right, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Page of Cups, and then challenging that, we have Judgment. So really what I'm getting with this combination here is that there might be something that you've been working on, extending yourself toward, whether, presenting a creative project, possibly proposing some kind of an idea in your workplace, maybe even extending a romantic offer. Looks like you might have been working toward getting there, but feeling like you're not necessarily ready. And why I see this as a challenge, it could just be saying because now you might get some kind of a sign or a synchronicity that might spark a sense of urgency in you, right? So maybe you might have thought you had more time to prepare, and something might come along to make you think that no, maybe that's not the case. You might have to actually put this out there sooner than you expected. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So this tells me that this is probably something that you've worked on for quite some time, though. So that's the one good thing, right? This is kind of like an apprentice energy. But yeah, it says to me that this is probably something that you have actually given some time to. But again, like I said, maybe it's just in your mind you might have had more time to work toward it than you really do, and that could just have you a little bit nervous. And given that that's Virgo energy, which is your 2nd house of finances, this could definitely be something related to finances. In the past position, we have a few cards. We have the 3 of Swords, which is Libra energy, the Page of Wands, the Star, which is Aquarius energy, and Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So interesting mixture here, but what I'm seeing with this primarily could just be saying that you might have gone through some disappointment in the past. Possibly you might have even, all right, so let's say whatever this is, let's say you might have just casually mentioned this plan to someone, right? And maybe they could have shot the idea down or something, right? Or just had a bit of a flippant remark around it that made you think that it wasn't worth what it was initially, right? So that could have caused you to be a bit hesitant around it. But now I feel like this is saying that, you've learned from the situation and you're actually ready to move forward, but it did help you actually ground yourself a little bit, right? So you might have still gotten a little bit of a benefit from that encounter, even though it initially started out as a negative, right? Because maybe it forced you to be a bit more practical with your approach. But another way I can see this playing out too could just be saying that maybe in the past you might have been a bit more of a risk taker, right? And possibly that might have landed you in some hot water around a situation. So you might have come out of that growth cycle and realized, the importance of stability, right? And taking things with the slow and steady route. So that could be why now you're currently at that point where the universe is kind of nudging you forward on something where you feel like you need more time to prepare. All right, in the present position, we have the Lovers. So this is the major arcana card for Gemini. And here we do see, once again, similar to the Judgment card, We have that angel type figure in the background, right? So it could just be saying that it's bigger than just a voice in your mind that's making you think, oh, I have to move forward on this, right? It could just be saying that spiritually you're being guided forward around the situation. But maybe for whatever reason you might not think that's the case, right? You might second guess it, be like, oh, no, it's probably just me, criticizing myself or putting pressure on myself or something like that. But I feel like this is saying that there might be something bigger at play here. And especially seeing the Gemini energy, which we mentioned, that's where Mars has been retrograde for quite some time too. So it could just be saying it might have been a timing thing where it might not have been right for you to move forward on the situation in the past, but now it could be a better time. All right, in the near future position, we have the Three of Wands. So to me, this says that you're still not going to be there quite yet as far as actually taking the action around the situation. So it looks like you will be feeling those nudges, but yet still, ideally you might be thinking, oh, all right, well, I'd rather not put myself out there just yet, right? So you might be looking for alternatives. But yeah, that's what I see with that. All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, the way I'm reading this, at least in the context of this reading, is another indicator that for you, you might feel like you're not quite ready yet, right? So if we look at the artwork here, it looks like that pentacle is not quite in his reach, right? So it's just one of those things where you just feel a little bit of a sense of being unprepared for whatever the situation is, even though the reality shows that it looks like you're being guided forward for a reason. All right, in the environment position, we have the Seven of Wands. So yeah, same concept here, but I feel like this is, like I said, it looks like you're getting some kind of nudge forward, but it feels like there's resistance on your part to it, right? Which, like I said, it seems like for whatever reason you feel like you're not quite ready just yet. Okay, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Two of Pentacles. So this is probably a fear for most of you, right? And it could just be a fear that you don't have enough, right? Or for maybe even a small percentage of you, a fear that you're just not enough, right? So either way, that could be what's part of what's holding you back. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. So while this might not be a huge action-oriented card when it's in reverse, at least it's better than the upright, right? Which to me says at the very least it looks like you'll finally get out of your head around the situation, which will at least put you in a better position and closer position to actually take action around the situation. So at least it's positive in that regard. And bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. So Libra energy here. So yeah, this is going to be something that you've really been weighing the pros and cons on for quite some time. And like I said, possibly because you've gone through a disappointment in the past where you were more impulsive and did put yourself out there without hesitating, right? And now maybe you're a little bit more gun shy about going that route. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card. We have Always Do Your Best. There we go. And it says, don't overdo. Okay, it says, always do your best, but don't overdo. When you overdo, you deplete your body and go against yourself, and it will take you longer to accomplish your goal. So yeah, interesting message there. So overall, it seems like the main theme to take away from this is balance, right? To not hold yourself back too much, fearing that you aren't ready for something, but also on the opposite end of that spectrum, trying not to overdo it too, which actually just reminds me of, I think your reading for last month had you really hyper focused on trying to get something done. So maybe it's just a matter of you finding that balance between the two. But hopefully that resonated. All right, and moving on to your Wisdom of the Oracle card, we have Flexible. There's the artwork, and the number is 19. Let's see what this has to say. Okay, essential meaning says teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. The oracle's message: a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there, right? And maybe that's what's going on here too, where I was saying maybe you feel like you're just not ready for whatever reason. So it could be a little bit of perfectionism on your part, right? Where it's like, okay, well, if you're so insistent on having everything just right, then the opportunity could pass you by, right? So hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but it will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there. Now, to be fair, I didn't see this as a huge romantic connection type of reading at first, but it's at least possible with that Page of Cups that might even be someone coming your way with an offer, right? You might feel like you're not ready in that regard, especially given that we see the lovers there too. So if that's the case, hopefully that resonated with you. The prosperity message says, even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you'll still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have much better plans for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this or something better manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there too, especially if you feel like you have been in a state of lack in some kind of way. So hopefully that resonated. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. So this is your mudra here. It's the Prithivi mudra, and the keyword for it is assimilation. Let's see if we can fit everything in the frame. Yeah, barely. But if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, you can. But as far as benefits, it says strengthens digestion and assimilation, helps rebuild a thin and frail constitution, creates a sense of centeredness and grounding, benefits the skin, improves the disposition, helps one adjust to any kind of change or disruption to the normal schedule or routine. Spiritually, it establishes a sense of effortless joy. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name in the description video as always. Once again, hope you guys are having a good holiday season and have a happy new year, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.